Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Woodshop. As you can see, I have it pretty well carved up the way I want it to be carved. Now comes the sanding, and sanding's going to take a long time. Just want to show you a couple of things that I use for sanding. I can use one of these discs. You can buy these, or blocks. You can buy them at a place that sells like the dollar store. You can use one of these, and it's a spongy type thing. You can use regular sandpaper if you like. I would use at least a 220 if you're going to do it, or a little higher. I have another sanding disc. You can use some nail files in there to sand some things. You really want this rounded. You don't want this to be just squared off here underneath. So what we're going to do is, once we sand it, then we'll take the wood burner over it and see how that works for the feather, for that feather look, or that real delicate look. If I can't get that to look like that, then I'm going to skip it, but I'm going to give it a try and see. You know, the inside here, this is all pretty well layered now, and that's pretty good. So meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and start sanding this. It might take me a day or so to smooth this all out. The other thing I just wanted to mention to you real quick is, if you wanted to do some kind of carving in the wood here, you know, you can easily do that, or on the base. You know, you can be as creative as you want to be. You can put your name in here. I think maybe I might put something in here to my mom, you know, for her birthday, or I might just leave it plain and sign the bottom and paint this like a brownish color, and this orangey yellow, and the green, the light lime green. So you're gonna have to sand the stem, sand all this out. I don't think you really need to do much on the inside. You can take a look at that. I might lightly sand over each one. Those of you that have any power tools to do some sanding, you can use some of that on the base. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go offline here for a while, and it might be a day or so before I'm back, because I want this really to be smooth as can be. And we're going to see what it looks like after we smooth it out, and then I'm going to try one small middle one with the feathering that I wanted to do to make it look more realistic. That might take a lot of time to do, folks. So you know, if you want to leave it this way and call it a project, that is perfectly fine, and just paint this red and green and brown, you can do that. I'll leave that discretion up to you. I'm not done with it yet. I'm going to make sure I sand everything really well. Some people just leave it this way and would consider this a project on its own and leave it in the natural setting that it is. And what I used here, folks, was basswood, and you know, this is pretty strong. You know, it looks very, very delicate, but because the grain is running up and down this way, I do have it where it's pretty, you know, I'm putting a lot of pressure on that and it's not doing anything. I'm really glad I did the curve two ways. It made it more realistic for me. I'll be back and we'll take it from there. Also, I want to tell you real quick, I'm starting to do some cutouts. For those of you that would like a cutout, I will start doing it. I ordered some lumber to yesterday. It should be here in a week or so, so I can do the black lab and all that rest of it. The prices for that is on my channel page. If you go to the channel page, the patterns are $1.50 for a side profile pattern. But if you go further on that list, where all the writing is on the left hand side of the screen, you'll see a listing for the cutouts, and that's not including the pattern. So if you're interested in a cutout of, you know, of any of the projects that I did here, you know, all these will be available for you. It might take me a little bit because I'm only a one-person operation here, so I did find somebody who's willing to cut them out for me, so I may have him do it. But I just want to make it very clear to you that those prices are not with the pattern. If you want the side pattern along with it, then it's an extra $1.50 for that, and that's only sent by email. The other thing I wanted to tell you is if you're ordering anything from way in the beginning, the block Santas, the very first Santas that I did, those do not have a pattern to them. They only have, I can sell you the block with the 2 cuts already, or the 4 cuts that are on, or that's needed on that. And you know, I think I've priced them pretty reasonable, considering the time it will take to cut them out and the ship them and all that. So if you're interested, by all means email me at the Carver's Woodshop or at zomerenterprises.com, or at the Carver's Woodshop at yahoo.com. So you can reach me either way there. Okay, folks, so thanks a lot, and we'll be back in a day or so, because I really have to get this done by Friday. So I'm not looking at a whole lot of time to do burning, but I'll do my best to make it what I want to make it there, and we'll see what happens. Okay, folks, we'll be back. Bye-bye.